Hey, I'm Bella, and this is my story. So the first time I remember hearing about Jesus is when I was 3 and I was afraid of the dark. And my mom opened my little illustrated kids Bible and was like, this is God, and he's the light, and he's with you even when you can't see him. And I'm like, okay, cool. This is easy. I like it. Faith, happiness, got it on lock. And then that was going pretty good for a while. When I was 7, though, my parents got divorced, and that was really odd for me at the time. I didn't know how to handle it. The biggest thing that was scary was my little brother was 4, and I was like, this is not okay for him, how do I be there for him and my mom and still be a good student and a good everything? Kind of like a checklist. I became a really kind of chronic people pleaser. So everything I did was to make someone else happy. So, for God, that was what being a Christian meant to me was, you're reading your Bible every day, you're praying all the time, you know all the worship songs, you attend church regularly, you volunteer at VBS, the whole checklist thing. And that really destroys you. It's really exhausting when you don't have the faith to back that up, like when it doesn't mean anything, kind of. And so that was really just not a good thing to do. For a long time, though, I didn't realize that was a problem. I just kind of thought God's like this father who sort of scolds you for doing wrong and appreciates when you do all the things that he wants you to do. But he promises us a lot more than that, and I'm really glad that moment finally happened. I would say the big point was in high school when I started coming to Alice Drive. I grew up going to different churches because it would depend on whichever parent I was with that weekend. But being able to come here twice a week and just meet real people was really cool for me. I would meet people who had this like unshakable joy about them, not just like happiness, like a fake smile, because you would hear their stories and they'd be just like painful and not fair. And they would still just be like, yeah, but I see where that was going now. Like, I see that was part of my purpose. And I was like, whoa, you don't have to be perfect to have a story and to just be happy. What is that? I want that. And so coming here, really, the community kind of showed to me what the true gospel is, that, anything we have done or can do isn't good enough. And that's okay, because God saved us. He's promised us that victory over whatever challenges arise in life, and he redeems the past that we can't control. So that was a big moment for me. It was like, I can't do this on my own anymore. And I'm really glad that I was here in this community that preached that truthfully and showed me how to continue with that. Another big turning point was around my sophomore year of high school, when I got into this really bad relationship. I knew it was going to be a problem when my friends did not support it, and I got in a lot of trouble with my parents for it. But I kind of wanted to prove them wrong. I don't know. It was really just not a good time. I kind of let that relationship define me, and I thought, I'm going to prove them wrong. This is where I am going to be for a long time, so I'm good, I'm gonna do me, even though I knew they were right. But I really just let my identity take the form of that relationship I was in. And it was really, it made me really sad, just being stuck in that sin, because it was like this dichotomy, if you will. It was at the same time, both my parents had got remarried. I had a new sister, 2 brothers instead of 1, which was cool. And I was so happy for that situation, because God had taken all these things in my past that just tore me apart and made them into something that changed my life. They're all awesome people, and I was so thankful for them. But at the same time, I was kind of living this double life, because this relationship I was in was just awful. Not good for me, not good for the person I was dating. And so I didn't know, there was no genuine relationship. I felt stuck in that time. But I knew through all of it, God was gonna get me out. God was gonna save me. and he still loved me, but it was like, okay, what are you doing about it? You know, I was too afraid to kind of make that move and say, okay, this is not where I'm supposed to be. You know, God is more important, because I knew that. But again, I was so determined to have control over this thing in my life, and just make it who I was. But that's not how that works. God has a way of changing you even when you're not willing to submit, I guess. And I remember specifically, like, the lowest points. I would be crying, curled up beside my bed, just like, God, I'm so sorry. You know, I'd apologize time and time again, like literally it seemed like every day. And I was like, I just want to get out of this, but I don't know how. I know you can, but I can't. And again, yeah, I'm so thankful for that moment in my faith where I realized I couldn't a long time ago, but it was still just a matter of, you know, God, I really need you to show where you are in this situation. And so finally, you know, I realized I have this awesome group of people that God has put here for me, just not only my family, but in my church group, my school, and this relationship that I'm in does not make me who I am. You know, God does, and what He's done for me does. And so I don't want to say this part and like make it seem like I just woke up and like the relationship was gone. I was not tempted to go back to it. Like everything was perfect after that. Because life is never like perfect. It's never easy to be happy or, you know, stress-free or anything like that. That's not what salvation is. You know, God promises us that no matter what we do, nothing is wasted, that we're loved, and He can take any tragedy and turn it into part of His story. So basically, the thing that showed me was, you know, I can take all these things that have hurt me in the past, my parents' divorce, me trying to be good enough, this horrible relationship I was in, and encourage other people, you know, show them, please don't go down this path, you're better than this, you know, your past doesn't define you. All the kind of like cliches you hear, except like God had given me a story from it, you know, and He showed me that what He's using, even when you can't see it, is bigger than you know, and it's not about the things you try to do, because on your own, that's never going to be enough. So yeah, I'm Bella, and that's my story.